In the year 2019, the Earth is dying. Acid rain falls from the darkened sky. War, deforestation, and pollution have pushed most species of animals over the brink of extinction. The majority of those that still exist are created artificially. Humanity is getting out while it can. Government contracts and corporate incentives have lured away those fortunate ones who have obtained exit visas in transit to the off-world colonies. Those left behind eke out what existence they can in what is left of the metropolitan centers of the world. Several years ago, the Tyrell Corporation advanced robot evolution into the Nexus phase, a being virtually identical to a human, known as a replicant. Replicants are used off-world as slave labor in the hazardous exploration and colonization of other planets. After a bloody mutiny by a replicant combat team on an off-world colony some years ago, they were declared illegal on Earth under penalty of death. Special police squads, Blade Runner units, have orders to shoot to kill upon detection of any trespassing replicant. This is not called execution. It is called retirement.
My name is Deckard. Rick Deckard. Occupation? Blade Runner. Until recently, that is. It was a dark, cold November day in Los Angeles, and the rain was beating down hard. By Pacific Coast time, it was only 2:45 in the afternoon, but the dense cloud cover that was heavy over everything said it could be midnight. I'd stopped off at the White Dragon, the diner around the corner from my flat in Hollywood, to get some lunch. An advertisement for the off-world migration droned on in the background.
A better life awaits you in the off-world colony. The chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure.
As I waited for my order, I thumbed through the LA Times looking for work. As I scanned the ads, there was a hard tap on my shoulder. I turned to see a greased little guy in a trench coat with a brass-handled cane and brick wall in a police uniform standing over me. The one in the trench coat spoke first.
Hey, Diwamasia Adana Klatuorengati.
What did he say?
He said you're under arrest, Mr. Deckard.
You got the wrong guy, pal.
Tefavia Blade Runner.
He says you're a Blade Runner.
Tell him I'm eating.
Captain Brian Toka. Mino Maio.
Right. Huh. I paid the clerk and got my order to go. The three of us filed in for spinning, a type of aerodrome used for the LAPD. The car rose up through the traffic lanes and crisscrossed between the skyscrapers of Los Angeles. The charmer's name was Gaff. I'd seen him around. That gibberish he talked was city speak, a mismatch of Japanese, Spanish, German, and what have you. I didn't really need a translator. I knew the lingo. Every good cop did. That wasn't going to make it any easier for him.
Dinner A12 authorized for final descent. Now on flight path on course over the landing threshold. You are cleared for landing on path 327.
Bryant, the captain in charge of the LA City Blade Runner division, was short and pudgy in his mid-50s. He had a round bulldog face. He wore a white pinstripe shirt with stains that matched his brown tie. His office was just as I remembered. It was drab and musty, with old files stacked about, and the lingering smell of stale cigar smoke filling the air.
Hiya, Deck!
Listen, Brian, you wanted to talk to me? Come see me yourself. Don't send out these twerps.
Sit down, pal. Don't be a tough guy, Deckard. Look, you want a drink? Here you go. I've got 4 skin jobs walking the streets. They jump shuttle off-world, killing the crew and passengers. You're going to spot them, and you're going to air them out.
I don't work here anymore. Give him to Dave Holden. He's good.
I did. He's not good enough. I need you, Deck. I need the old Blade Runner. I need your magic.
I was quit when I came in here, Bryant, and I'm twice as quit now.
You know the score. If you're not cop, you're little people.
No choice, huh?
No choice, pal. Here, we just received the data files of the missing skin jobs. These new models are designed to copy human beings in every way except for their emotions. But their designers reckon after a few years they might develop their own emotional responses. So they build in a fail-safe device.
Which is what?
4-year lifespan. Now, Tyrell has a Nexus 6 over at his estate on Brentwood. Got a special license for it. I want you to go put the machine on it. I'll let Gav take you out.
Fine. He can tag along. But I can't promise I won't plug him too. Tyrell's estate was tucked away in the hills of Brentwood. The house was huge. You'd need a compass just to get to the mailbox. Gav stayed behind the spinner, while I made my way up and rang the doorbell. The door was open, and I was greeted by a tall, thin, silver-haired man. He had blue eyes as remote as eyes could be, and he showed me through the house, through the rich, Egyptian-themed Art Deco interior, and into the study.
Dr. Tyrell will be with you shortly. He requests that you wait for him here, sir.
It was like waiting in a mausoleum. I went to the large mahogany table at the far end of the room and started to unpack the machine when I noticed a large owl staring at me from the perch behind the desk.
Do you like our owl?
I turned to see a sultry brunette in a skin-tight black dress. She was stretched out on a chaise longue near the fireplace with her slippers on. She was tall and rangy. Her hair was worn up, showing sleek lines on her face. A face that was graced with dark, smoldering eyes and two of the most luscious ruby-red lips I had ever seen. I smiled and was about to introduce myself.
You must be Officer Rick Deckard of the LAPD.
That's right, I'm here.
To examine our Nexus 6. My name is Rachel Tyrell. Dr. Tyrell is my uncle.
Look, just so you know, this isn't my idea.
It seems that your department feels our work is not of benefit to the public. May I ask you a personal question? Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
No.
But in your position, that is a risk.
Is this to be an empathy test? Capillary dilation of the so-called blush response? Fluctuation of the pupil? Involuntary dilation of the iris?
I turned to see an older man in his 60s enter the room as the butler closed the doors behind him. He was dressed in an expensive-looking navy blue tailored suit.
Mr. Deckard, my uncle, Dr. Eldern Tyrell.
The test?
Demonstrate it. I want to see it work.
Where's the subject? Your Nexus 6?
I want to see it work on a person. I want to see a negative before I provide you with a positive.
What's that going to prove? Replicants are the ones incapable of experiencing empathy, not humans.
Indulge me.
Fine. On you?
Try her.
It's too bright in here.
Norris, draw the blinds.
Very good, sir.
Do you mind if I smoke?
It won't affect the test. Alright, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just relax and answer them as simply as you can. It's your birthday. Someone gives you a calfskin wallet.
I wouldn't accept it. Also, I'd report the person who gave it to me to the police.
You've got a little boy. He shows you his butterfly collection, plus a killing jar.
I take him to the doctor.
You're watching television. Suddenly you realize you've got a wasp crawling up your arm.
I'd kill it.
I continued asking her questions for about an hour. After a while, I had the feeling they'd pull one over on me.
Would you step out for a few moments, Rachel? And you as well, Norris. Thank you.
She's a replicant, isn't she?
I'm impressed, Mr. Deckard. How many questions does it usually take to spot them?
20 or 30 cross-referenced?
It took more than 100 for Rachel, didn't it?
She doesn't know.
She's beginning to suspect, I think.
Suspect? How can it not know what it is?
Commerce is our goal in Tyrell. More human than human is our motto. Rachel is an experiment, nothing more. We began to recognize in them strange obsessions. After all, they're emotionally inexperienced and have only a few years in which to store up the experiences which you and I take for granted. If we give them the past, we create a cushion or pillow for their emotions, and consequently, we can control them better.
Memories. You're talking about memories.
Precisely, Mr. Deckard.
Tyrell went on about the details of Rachel's programming. I wasn't sure what to make of him. Genius or madman? As I left the estate, something about this job didn't seem right to me. I was used to this kind of job where I chase one up and go home. But emotions, memories, and Rachel? What I was about to enter into was something entirely different.